All right, welcome. Nice to have you here for our Facebook Live event. Thank you for joining us, and it's really great to be able to be with you again. My name is Eric Kent. I'm the co-publisher of njwedding.com along with my wife Beth, and we've been publishing njwedding.com for the past 25 years. And we're happy to be of service to the greater wedding community in New Jersey and beyond. And so just wanted to say hello, introduce myself, and please feel free to introduce yourselves in the comments and tell us where you're from or what your business is. If you want to include a link to your website or Facebook page, or if you run a group, as well as your Instagram handle or your page as well, and then we all can check them out and make sure we're connected because that's what this is all about. We have a half an hour today to just talk about some different topics, Facebook and Instagram being two of them, but we're going to dive in a little bit about what they have done for us and how we've utilized them within the wedding community to connect with others, to share information, to build communities, to network, and much, much more. So again, feel free to reach out in the comments. I'm going to put some links in the comments section as well as we get to them. But basically, I wanted to share with you a little bit about our efforts with Facebook over the past many years and how we decided to and why we decided to start a group. That first group that we started was called New Jersey Weddings, and it started back in 2009. So soon after we got on Facebook and started to use it for communicating with our audience of engaged couples, New Jersey businesses, and the community of venues and vendors, we decided to start a group to allow people to post in there and share information, and that way people could find each other. They can maybe answer questions, and then they can connect if it's a business to consumer, or just help each other out in terms of helping people find what they're looking for. Whether it's a bride asking questions to other brides, or a groom to grooms, or it's a community of people joining together to find information and get some help. So we started this group in 2009 with not much of an expectation of where things were going, but every day people would join and post in there and share, and then so it started to grow to about 5,000, 5,500 members or so. And in the last let's see, we're in 2022 right now. In the last 2 years, maybe a year and a half or so, it grew from that amount to over 17,000. So in this group of New Jersey Weddings, it includes engaged couples, brides and grooms to be. It includes vendors, includes venues, and it's nonstop. So what's been happening over this course of time, especially during the pandemic, was that couples needed to find a place to find either information, get some help, and find some balance in their planning, and really see what they could do to either if it's modifying their plans or finding some resources available that they needed to help get everything finalized. And so one of the things I'm personally proud of is to see that growth over time, that surge of growth, because people found that they really need the connection. And that's very satisfying to see that there are people always available to help. So I'm going to include that link for you to see in the comments below. Let's see. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'm going to put it in the detail section of our event here. So we'll do that in a little bit. But New Jersey Weddings is the group to find lots of information. If you're not a member yet, we invite you to become one. If you are a member of njwedding.com as a business, you are free to and allowed to create posts within that group so that people can find you. And really, so important to connect with people on an online basis and start the relationship so they can get to see you in person. I've always found that, when you connect online through Facebook, we'll talk about Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all these various social media sites, it really helps to start the relationship there and then take it offline into an in-person. And it's amazing how much more comfortable you feel when that time has come. So what is, why do these different groups? Why? And I'll tell you about some more of them that we started as well. But why have them in the first place? Because it really does build a community. So we started this New Jersey Weddings group back in 2009. It grew a lot. And I felt that there were other groups that needed to be, in a sense, siphoned out to better serve the local market of, wedding professionals or perhaps the local region. And so we started a group called NJ Wedding Industry Professionals, and that is for industry people only, as a chance to promote their services, as a chance to find out about upcoming meetings and events within the marketplace, and also to learn about new venues, learn about new vendors that are out there. So that also exists, and I'll put the link in there. It's called NJ Wedding Industry Professionals. And then, other groups started to grow. For example, there's a Long Beach Island NJ Weddings group. There's a New Jersey Brides and Grooms to Be group, and that's specifically for engaged couples that are looking to plan their wedding. And each of them have, different numbers in there. I know the group that I think there are like 3,400 members in the New Jersey Brides and Grooms to Be, and like I said, 17,000 and growing in New Jersey Weddings. So we also started to fine-tune these groups in terms of the regions, because New Jersey, even though it's a small state, it's a big area, it's a big region, and weddings are local. When it comes down to planning something in the Middlesex County region, there's a certain geographic area in which people will travel. If there are, couples in northern New Jersey and they're looking for specific services and venues in Bergen County, then they'll find and look for services there. So we started to build out these individual county wedding groups. So for example, Bergen County NJ Weddings, Middlesex County NJ Weddings, Atlantic County NJ Weddings, Cape May County NJ Weddings as well. And those are regions down in South Jersey, in the Southern Shore region, that are also big destinations for weddings. So for example, Atlantic City has become a big region for, weddings and weddings on the beach. People can have a wedding weekend there. They can stay and play and enjoy bringing in out-of-town guests. And so that area has marketed itself as a region for weddings and destination weddings, if you will. Same with Cape May, as well as Long Beach Island. We just attended a big event in Long Beach Island showing the, expanse of all the 18 miles of the New Jersey shoreline that they offer, and all the venues and vendors in between that serve that region. So it's what we did is we wanted to really pinpoint certain regions and help create a community that's more hyperlocal. Hyperlocal being the keyword of marketing these days, and also building really, really local community within the region that people are searching in. So that is one opportunity we wanted to share with you. Facebook groups have also helped vendors and also people who are really interested in weddings and wedding planning to become the experts, if you will, in the fact that you can answer people's questions. We get brides specifically asking questions constantly about different aspects of wedding planning. When it comes to marriage information, that's also part of our services that we like to share and be able to provide, for example, a link. So we have a section within njwedding.com specifically for marriage information, requirements, getting the license, applying for the license and how to do it, as well as a link to the local registrars within their town so they can go to the town hall and register for their license, as well as hiring a wedding officiant. So these are all important things, and we continually get asked by couples that are looking to plan, how do I either A, get married in New Jersey, if they're coming from New York or Pennsylvania, or just within the Garden State. They always want to know, and they can find out easily, but I can easily answer that question with a link to that resource. Same with, the fact that, a wedding planner can just be there to help. And as a result, they'll get the bride and groom's trust and, start to develop a relationship. So, some of these opportunities that, couples are posting about could be opportunities for businesses to, reach out and offer their service, see how they can help, see if they meet their criteria in terms of how they're asking for, what date availability, if they're looking for a makeup artist that works with, girls coming from different regions, how can they accommodate? And so we get a lot of questions like that as well. And what's interesting is what I love to see at the end of the day, and I saw this actually, I know this is Wednesday, but I saw some brides posting in our New Jersey Weddings group this morning saying, my wedding is Saturday, any last minute advice? And I'll repeat one of the pieces of advice that one of the fellow brides to be gave this bride, because I loved it so much. She basically said to sit at your table with your new husband and enjoy the moment. You planned all this together, you spent a lot of time, you went through this period of the last couple of years and challenges, and take a step back, look at what you created. Marriage is about developing, showing your relationship to your guests, your friends and family, and what you're all about, and look what you've brought together to celebrate today. So I thought that was really great advice. And you can read more on the website, on the Facebook group rather, and get a sense of what they're saying, because it's really a nice thing to witness, that people are just helping each other out. With regards to Instagram, I wanted to talk a little bit about Instagram as another method. I know Facebook owns Instagram, and there are similar things in terms of promotions when it comes to promoting your business on Facebook and Instagram. And what I've always found is there are certain methods to how couples are using both Facebook and Instagram that I found very helpful in reaching them and also modeling that kind of behavior online. And really, it's about posting information from a business standpoint about your service that you think would reach your market. So, for example, if you're sharing something about, if you're a photographer and you want to share, information about a certain photo that you've taken of a couple in the past, you can tag that couple on the Instagram posts. You can tag the venue in which they were married or celebrated the reception. You could indicate what other vendors you worked with, and they all get notification of this tag, and will either like the post, or perhaps share it on their story, or you could also incorporate it into your own story and showcase some of the work that you've done for your clients in the past. But part of using Instagram, and for that matter Facebook too, you can kind of utilize both and say, how can we post an image or post a series of images and tag them so that they know that we're mentioning them in our posts, whether you're mentioning them in the text of your post or you're tagging them on the actual post. It's part of a strategy of making the connection. I hope that's understandable. When it comes to strategy of being online and using things like Facebook and Instagram, it's an important aspect to being seen and having that connection out there, and it kind of expanding so that when you're taking the time to post something, you can tag and mention others with the hope that if they like it, they may share it as well. One of the things that we enjoy most, we have our Instagram page, which is instagram.com/njwedding. So our username is njwedding. And we receive so many people following us, whether they're wedding businesses or whether they're brides and grooms. And I find it interesting to understand the market that we're reaching. So we try to kind of work with both and share topics that may be of interest to both people. But when it comes to brides and grooms, we want to talk about what types of wedding trends are going on, share some images that they may enjoy, or local venues that they want to check out. And when it comes to vendors, we're actually promoting our advertisers on Instagram, so we want to always tag them and share them in our story. And what I've found, I want to share this with you, whether you're wedding professionals, whether you're an engaged couple that are watching today, there are ways to use both Facebook and Instagram to connect and make start the relationship, if you will, with those that you're trying to reach, and maybe use as a service, or just find out how they can help you. And one way that we've used both Facebook and Instagram is through direct messaging. So, for example, if we have a bride that follows us on Instagram, and their page is open in terms of it's not a private page, we may send a little message to them, or share something of theirs, and that way we want to support them as they're planning their wedding. Know that we're here for them to rely on when it comes to finding information, finding resources, letting them know about upcoming bridal shows and events, trends, and various topics that are going on. And if a new vendor may follow us, the same thing applies. We want to direct message them with an introduction saying, thank you for following njwedding.com on Instagram. We're here to help you promote your services, and we do it in different ways. We've been doing this for a long time, and we have an Instagram following of over 19,000 users. So we take that seriously. We want to make sure that we're providing good content, that we're starting out, making good relationships within the community, and providing good resources for those that are using both of these sites. I found that when it comes to Instagram, it's a very kind of a fun and easy access to connect with someone that is interested. For example, brides may be following us for a year and a half if they're planning their wedding, and then I'll hear from them asking if we can share some of their wedding photos or images or videos online, in our story. and tag them and their vendors and such. And it's just amazing to see how what kind of response that gets. So that's something, if you're a bride-to-be and you want to, please feel free to to do that. We're happy to share your images. If you're a wedding professional, venue, vendor, we're happy to share with you what we can do to help in the efforts of promoting your services, and whether it's photography, videography, flowers, makeup and hair, wedding planning, floral design, you name it. The New Jersey wedding community, I find, is I'll be biased, but the most creative group of people I've ever met. And I go to a lot of wedding events in the community, bridal shows, industry association meetings, seminars and such. And what I've seen over the years is, people that I've met over the years, is just incredible. And to share that online, to transfer that information to the greater online community through Facebook, through Instagram, through LinkedIn, which is another very effective tool, Pinterest, Google My Business, Twitter, if I didn't mention Twitter. Those are all important tools to use, and different ways that couples can find information through primarily Instagram these days. As far as the trends, Facebook was a big trend for a while. It's still out there as far as people using these groups, and having a real concise effort to find what they're looking for. But Instagram is really the first key to that entrance. It's quick. It's something they can scroll on there as they're sitting, any place. If they have some downtime, and they can find and inquire about different services. There's also one other thing I want to mention about hashtags, because while Facebook and Twitter were really starting hashtags many years ago, Instagram has really become the place where hashtags are plentiful. And we use hashtag NJWedding, hashtag NJWeddings, hashtag NJWeddingPlanning, and various others to communicate what we're trying to share with our posts. So if you take the time to put hashtags, take a moment to click on a hashtag and see what comes up. I personally make it a practice to click on the NJ Wedding or NJ Weddings or both hashtags throughout the week, see who's posting, whether it's a bride and groom posting about their wedding from the previous weekend, or if it's a new florist or venue or wedding planner, or just someone that's serving the wedding community. I find it fascinating how quickly it comes up. So just in terms of a little tip, go to an Instagram post, click on or type in hashtag NJWedding. You'll see like an overview of posts, but then also if you scroll down or click where it says recent, you'll see more of the more current hashtags that are just whether a few seconds old or a day or two or just several minutes. So it's kind of fun to see what pops up. For that matter, if you're interested in finding, one of the things I do is if I want to find perhaps there's a bridal show that's going on or a venue, and you click on the venue's name. So if a bridal show is hosted at a certain venue, or you're going into a venue and you want to see the photos from that wedding, then click on the location. The location is the up in the top section of the tag for the post for on Instagram, and click on the recent photos coming out of that location. These are all, and I do this all the time, so it's kind of fun if I see that a DJ is going to be at a certain place because they're posting, hey, we have weddings at these few locations coming up, and then on Monday I click on the location and there's all the photos coming out of that wedding. Not only can I, support that effort, but also I can see other vendors that were there. I can see the bride and groom perhaps, or wedding guests, and they become aware of NJ Wedding if they weren't before. They, perhaps there's a photo that I can share. So, it's real time effort. It's a lot of fun to see what's going on. Is it time consuming? Perhaps, but if you make the time out of your day to support the community, and I kind of, part of what we've been doing for the past 25 years is what else can we do except support our community of, couples that are getting married, understanding the trends that are going on, and following people that are in this industry to share the latest. They have so much to, because they're the experts. We're the resource that likes to share what goes on in the community. My wife Beth and I are, happy to be a part of it, but we're not out there, at every wedding and every event. But we certainly enjoy seeing what comes out of it and knowing that there's a lot of people that are looking for information. For example, if they're just getting started. So put yourself in the shoes of a newly engaged couple. They just got engaged this past weekend, and where do they go? Maybe they go to Instagram if that's the case, and they start either clicking on different links or they start following, and you can move them from following you to DMing them to invite them to visit your website or a Facebook page or other, perhaps a group that you created, and developing a relationship with them over the course of weeks and months, so that they trust you as a business professional to hire you or work with you for their wedding. This is what it's about. This is what we've seen over many years. The wedding vendors that are out there, the venues, they are all here to serve couples. They are thoroughly enjoying their work. If they're creatives, they make use of their time to understand what goes on, to better serve their clients, to get better and better when it comes to their expertise. And we have this social media as an opportunity to share it. So what better way to get in there and see what's out, what it's basically within the community of wedding professionals than to go on to Facebook, to go onto Instagram. If you prefer to use Twitter, there's lots of professionals there as well. Google My Business, just searching Google is important. And LinkedIn, believe it or not, has a lot of resources as well. But to kind of end up with this discussion, we've built these Facebook groups for a reason. We have about 11 Facebook county groups that we're continuing to build more. So if you have an idea of, let me actually just share with you, and I'm going to put some links within the comments or details section soon. I've kind of just enjoyed talking with you all on this forum. And I apologize, but I hope you have a chance to go to the websites and the Facebook groups and check them out. But njwedding.com/connect is the link to all of our Facebook groups that you can join and you can participate in and you can be part of. We have, like I said, 11 county groups right now, and we're looking to create more in the next few weeks. So we continue to do that and invite you along. But it's a fun ride. It's a lot of fun to be able to share information. One other thing about networking I'll share with you right now is that everyone that's on this board, this Facebook Live event, if you don't know people that are posting in the comments, or if you don't know people that are sharing online, or those who joined to attend, feel free to go in there and check them out and reach out, connect on Facebook, and you'll have a good new relationship. So Again, my name is Eric Kent, co-publisher of njwedding.com, along with my wife Beth. We thank you for your continued support. We really enjoy having you, and thanks for taking the time to spend today. All right? Take care now. Bye-bye now.